Yo, so Mike Mondays, we are in Manhattan. Flew in on a red eye, so I have not slept yet. Hence the glasses, no red eyes underneath. On our way to meet up with Gary Vee, a few other people. We're late, unfortunately. I picked the earliest red eye we could take, which got us in town, got us here around 6:30. But we had to take a taxi, and he fucking took his sweet little time. Now we're in an Uber, but it's a lot of traffic, man. It's a lot of traffic. It fucking sucks, 'cause I hate being late, and I think they're starting already. But it is what it is. We're here, you know, whatever. And I got a new homie right here from Grenada. He plays in Carnival.
I love spice, let him know that.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, so we're almost there. We'll be there soon.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
That's 3.
Every minute is killing me. I feel like that scene in Interstellar when they're on that other planet and time was like every hour was like 10 years. That's how I feel like right now. It's killing me right now, so. But we'll get there, we'll make the best of it. Nothing we can do really, you know what I mean? Next time we get the helicopter or some shit, you know.
Look at this monster walking in.
What's up, brother?
You were beating up everybody too much or something?
Taxi people, how you doing, love?
How are you?
All right. What's up, brother? Nice to meet you.
So man, get in here. How you doing? Good to see you. All right, let's
You're
go.
looking smaller. What's going on?
This tiny guy.
I do like you thinning out a little bit.
I like it too. Summertime, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. All right, Mike, why don't you tell everybody real quick who you are, and then we'll answer. I mean, I'll actually answer that question so we can go right into the next question. It's very easy. A lot of things in life are just relationship based. 2-3 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 3.5 years ago, I tried to get my health going for real. I put out to social media thinking that's what I was going to be accountable to, the peer pressure. You want to get in here, my man? I thought the, good to see you. You well? I thought I was going to succumb to the peer pressure of social media to hold me accountable. So I said, I need to work out. John Roman, who we mentioned earlier, got his community to like shout me out heavily. I should be your guy. Great, I picked him. That was my relationship. Mike was his intern. That was the relationship. So I picked my person based on relationships. Mike and I actually worked out together unsuccessfully before we got into this for 5 or 6 months, where I worked out 4 times. 8 times in 4 months and canceled 19 times on his way to my gym because I hadn't made the mental shift. So to answer the question, on relationship, Mike, why don't you tell the Vayner Nation that didn't see our interviews, that watched the Ask Gary Vee show only, a little bit about yourself.
Sorry, cough drop. I'm trying to finish it up. I was trying to
Hold
punch
on,
it.
hold on.
I was trying
Let me
to
ask you a
punch it
question.
slowly.
Let me ask you a real quick question.
What's up, brother?
You're 20 minutes late.
Okay.
And then we get to the moment and you still can't answer on the spot. You gotta like choose something.
Still got my cough drop, man.
He's not
Go
helping.
ahead.
First of all, I apologize for being late.
No worries, go.
All
Don't
right, Mike Rashid, CEO of I'm So Alpha, I'mSoAlpha.com, supplements, the Alpha Academy. I have an okay YouTube channel. Just opened a gym, Iron Addicts Gym Miami. So excited about that. And,
Tell me about the boxing. I like that shit.
I used to box. You know,
Yeah.
but what he likes even more is I used to tap dance.
I do like that.
Play saxophone, piano, all that good stuff. Don't anymore, but I just, I'm a businessman. I'm in the fitness space. I started there, but I have a huge inclination for helping people. I always talk about I live a life of service. Just like my brother right here, I give, and when you're giving, the universe gives to you. That's not why I give. I give because it makes me feel really good. And
it's an important notice. Like for me, I'm the same way, but I'm not naive that it brings me benefit. I like giving because I like it. Very honestly, I like the leverage of it. Like mine's a little bit less noble. Like I am starting to understand myself in my late 30s or 40s, not just from the business leverage, just like in life. Like I'm an immigrant that doesn't like to owe anybody anything. Me and my dad have a lot of friction on this, and it actually comes from a very noble place from both of us, which is we don't want to owe anybody anything. So it's weird because we have a relationship and thus we're always jockeying to not owe. Right. I mean, I got into my family business. I legitimately did not grow that business to such a level because I wanted money. I wanted to pay my parents back for bringing me to America and giving me the opportunity to help the family business. It was me paying back the debt and making sure I had the leverage over my parents, or at least equal is really kind of how it plays out to my parents. And so that was important to me. So I understand that.
Right.
I understand that. I think people are very confused on, oh, it's bullshit you want to give, you know what you want. Yes, nobody's confused. I don't think you're confused that nice things happen,
Right.
whether financial or emotional,
Right.
which is even better. But for me, it's even a little extra tweak, and I'm curious. I wanted to share with you guys because I'm curious about this. For me, it actually stems from I don't want to owe you anything.
Absolutely.
Like I hate when people give me stuff.
You know what? A part of me giving and doing things for people is to like tip the scale in my life of good and bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I made a lot of mistakes in the past. You know, I own it. I've dealt with it. I've atoned for it. But I still want to do.
Sure.
Just the other day, like we go and do things for the homeless often, right? But recently we started recording it, putting it out there.
Yep.
Then I had somebody hop on Instagram and say, well, who's better, the guy who does this in secrecy or the guy that stands
Sure.
on a soapbox and tell everybody?
Yeah.
I was like, actually, asshole, it doesn't matter who's better. What matters is people are getting fed. You know what I'm saying? So even if I was doing it for vain reasons, which I'm not, people are getting fed, and that's what's most
No, I
important.
get it, man.
However, I love it because one night, just me and the crew went out. The next night, I told people on Snap, like, yo, these people don't even care about the food. They're fucking thirsty. They need water. So if y'all want to come help, bring water, Gatorade, 11:30, meet me at the gym.
Tons of people.
Yeah.
Man, it was like 15, 20 cars deep with people.
Crazy.
So much water, so much Gatorade. And, you know,
Once you have attention, and once you fulfill yourself,
Right.
that's the key. Like I tell a lot of young entrepreneurs, there's a lot of young entrepreneurs right now coming out, and they want to start NGOs from the get. And I'm like, cool, as long as you're honest with yourself that you're not doing it because you want to position yourself as a noble person in society, it's because you feel fulfilled already.
Exactly.
Because the only way you can give is once you have. The reason I give away all my shit for free in a business environment is because I'm good. I'm good enough, I'm fulfilled, and I don't need to give it with something in return. Do things happen? Do people buy books? Do things? Yes, things happen. But it like once your energy is in that right place, and so many of you are doing things tactically that you think work, but you haven't fixed the way you feel about yourself yet to have that foundation to go. It's funny, I sent this to you yesterday, Brett, I think. I have to write this article. It's called I've Already Won. I've already won because if I do something, a book, a business, a show, if it works, well, I've won. Like it worked. Like people care, like I won.
Absolutely.
If I lose, I've won because I love losing. Because I think it's fair, it's motivating, it makes me want to climb. I like the bottom. I was like, you were telling your story, and you couldn't even imagine my brain saying, yeah, like rock bottom, divorce, no money, more weight than I've ever been before. Like that's when you looked in the mirror. Like it's all the same Rocky movie. It's like all I want to do is like take logs and run through fucking snow.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly.
All right, one quick question, because I'm live on the radio. So I'm gonna, there's two more?
I have one for you guys, and then we can talk after and do the thing like we do with the Snapchat.
Exactly. Well, you have one more question?
One more question for all of you.
Okay, but can I go maybe actually?
You want to go right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna just hug it out. I'm gonna be
Okay.
late. I gotta be live in the air. Sorry, I gotta run.
all right,
Good to
brother.
see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Great to see
Bye,
you.
thank you. Thank
We will
you.
link up the book for sure.
Awesome.
Mike, I
Thank
never
you.
see you, but I'll give you that. All right, guys, I'll see you later.
Bye.
You guys get to ask the questions of the day. Don't let them go too long, because, I don't trust them. I'm just kidding, I'm kidding.
I heard.
Ask that question,
I'm in
and I wish
charge,
you guys well.
Thank
I wish you guys
you.
well. Take care.
Thank
The lady's in
you.
charge.
Nothing till lunch,
you.
right?
All right, Mike.
So we were late. We missed about 20 minutes of the talk. So we hopped in a little bit afterwards, but it's all good. New York traffic, man. I flew in last minute, you know what I mean? So I got here when I could get here. Hope I didn't disappoint anybody, but it's still good. The energy is good. Every time I come up here, I get really fucking motivated, especially coming here to VaynerMedia. Gary got that kind of electric personality, and it kind of rubs up on you. It makes you want to fucking hustle even more. So that's legit. So now we continue the rest of our New York City adventures. to see my boy Capo. Shout out to Jim Jones, Dipset, Vamp Life, all that good shit. So we went and hung out there in Harlem at the bars, you know. I wanted to get busy, but I'm still nursing back this shoulder injury. Should be good in a couple weeks. Now we're gonna go see Natalie Jill. She was at Gary V's earlier. Big shout out to Natalie Jill, somebody I really respect. She's a very positive figure in the fitness world. She is someone who I consider a shining light in some of the darkness. It's sad that I gotta say that, because when you think of fitness, you wanna think of like a lot of positivity, a lot of productivity, but the reality of it is there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of deceit. There's a lot of people misleading other people to make money, to make profit, and it's not cool, it's not right. So Natalie Jill is someone who I do respect because, she's very consistent with honest, good content. Her ass and tits ain't all over the internet. You know what I mean? And I respect that, because this day and age, everybody's ass and tits is all over the internet. And even some of you fucking fitness dudes, ass is all over the internet. That shit is fucking whack. I need to knock it off, for real. So, I just really admire and respect people who have something to offer up here. Not just their bodies and their looks. That shit's, so what? It doesn't take you but so far. You know what I mean? So, and I don't want people getting caught up in just their looks. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm gonna go talk with her. She just released her book and is killing it right now. So, like I said, just somebody that I respect. An entrepreneur, a positive person in this industry, and we all got to support each other and come together. So we're heading over to the Trump Towers. Is it Trump Towers or Trump International? Trump International? Trump International. It's two different ones. So Donald fucking Trump, Mr. Pumpkinhead. But anyway, it's all good. You got dope ass hotels, and you about that paper. So about to ride over there. Uber status, baby. Mike Mondays. Told you I had a special treat for you. Here she is, Natalie Jill. I was telling them on the Uber ride over here that you're somebody that I do respect a lot in this industry. Honestly, I don't respect a lot of people in this industry. I was telling YouTube world out there that it's sad. When I was talking about you in the car, I was saying, Natalie is a shining light in a dark place. And it's sad that I have to say that, because people expect the fitness industry to be a light place, a place of, positivity, progression. But it's a lot of deception. People are taking advantage of other people and making money off of misleading them and unhealthy lifestyles, honestly, and masking it under fitness. And it's not what I signed up for,
Sure.
And you as well. And so I just wanted to kind of introduce them to you. My channel, you have a huge channel, a huge following yourself. but we have different demographics, and so I always want to bring my people good stuff. Like I brought my people Gary Vee, and now I'm bringing them you. You know what I mean? So I think like minds connect.
Yeah.
You were saying that we have different approaches, but I agree. We're on different roads going to the same place.
Yes.
Because we're coming from different places, right? Just tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Well, gosh, after that intro, I don't even know what to say. But, so I'm Natalie Jill, and I'm a licensed master sports nutritionist and a functional fitness trainer. And what I do is I simplify fitness and nutrition. And my approach has always been that people can become their best them no matter where they're starting from, no matter what their age, no matter what their hurdles. Might be harder for some, it might take longer, but there's always a way to become a better version of themselves. And what's sad to me in fitness, in the general fitness, and it's why I stopped looking at so many other fitness things going on, is I think so much of it's supposed to be positive, and it makes people feel bad about themselves. It's this big constant comparison mode of if you're not doing this or putting in this much time or doing it this way and being this strict and competing and then you're a failure.
Right.
And it ends up making people feel bad about themselves, and that was never. It's not how I've ever responded to getting healthy, and I really felt when I started working with people that I had to find a way to make them feel encouraged and motivated from the beginning, and not feeling like a failure from the beginning.
Right.
And when I watched a lot of other fitness people, that's the vibe that I would always get. That it's like, you see these pictures of girls in a thong, or
Right.
this really fakey looking stuff, and then it made others feel bad about themselves. So my whole approach has always been about simplifying, empowering, encouraging, and helping people become their best version of themselves, no matter where they're starting from.
Right. I agree. Going back to when you talked about how they make people feel bad about themselves, I've had associates that I pretty much I thought we were friends at one point, but if I'm friends with somebody and my friend is doing something ridiculous, if I can't tell him what he's doing is wrong, then we're not friends.
Sure.
And it goes both ways. I tell my guys all the time, if I'm fucking up, tell me. You know what I mean? Steel sharpens steel. So I had a buddy who would constantly bash people, and I'm like, and he would actually pick on chicks, on girls, bikini girls, of all people, right? About, anabolics and all of this stuff. And I'm like, bro, like, why do you care? If people want to do that, let them do what they do. You know what I mean? But, it's a lot of people that come so hard and so harsh and so judgmental, and it's not cool. And he would be like, well, why are you coming at me? You agree with me. We talk about this. I say, yeah, but I'm not going in public bashing people and demonizing people for choosing to do what they want to do with their body. It's their life, right? So it's a way to approach people if you see people doing something wrong without coming down like you're the master, you know everything. You know what I mean? And, a lot of people in fitness, hide behind their education and their credentials. I don't care about none of that. Who is it? Somebody I think it was Chris Gethin. Shout out to Chris Gethin, that's my boy. He just came out with a shirt. It says, knowledge with no mileage is nothing.
Wow.
And that's powerful, because you can get all the bookworm information you want. If you're not putting that into application, it's pointless. And people want to hide behind science and this, that, and the third. And science, first of all, science is not, there's no science that's exact. Science changes. A real scientist wants to be proven wrong so he can advance his field of study. I'm a fan of science, you know what I mean? And, it just really baffles me when these people, well, I have this and this degree and that degree, and this is how you do it. If you're not doing this, you're an idiot. I see these morons eating like this and doing this to themselves and metabolic blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're frustrating people, you're confusing people, you're scaring people. A lot of people scare people into hiring them for their services. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't
That's
think
what creates that information overload
and
that failure, I think.
Yeah.
Because my whole attitude to that is if somebody is doing something a specific way and it's working for them, I'm all for it. It's working for you, that's great.
What's more dynamic than the human body?
Yeah.
Than your body from my body? They're not the same.
Well, it's like, and if you can ask, like, what's, like, I guarantee if anyone asks you and me our opinion on how we work out, what we eat, we have probably very different different answers. It doesn't mean that one of us is wrong.
Right. But
it's
the
different.
important thing is we're both working out, being active, trying our best to eat healthy.
Yep.
That's
We're
it. What
both
do you-
parents.
yeah,
we
both
both have.
parents,
We
right.
both want to feel energetic, have
Exactly.
energy, and
Exactly.
do good things.
Right.
Right.
At the end of the day, that's what it's about. You know, not everybody's gonna be a powerlifter. Not everybody's gonna be a bikini competitor. It's so many different ways. And I tell people like this: it's you know, if you like basketball, you should play basketball. That's great cardio. That's great physical activity. So it doesn't have to be all, what I do. You know what I mean? I don't look down on people. A lot of people in the world of like, you know, bodybuilding, powerlifting, look down on CrossFitters. I'm like, why? You know what I mean? These guys are getting out there, working out, they're exercising. You know, so I'm just not down with like looking down on people for doing whatever they want to do. I'm happy that people are taking the initiative to work out. You know, this person might spend a year or two in CrossFit and then move on to something else. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of this whole, I call it like the iron sport, just all the different genres of lifting or, you know, physical activity, wellness, sports, whatever it is. You know, that's how I got started. It wasn't lifting, it was actually boxing, you know? So I was a boxer starting out, you know, but I wanted to be stronger, so I lifted at the same time. So, you know, it's all about being active and doing what you want to do. You know what I mean?
I would say one thing that I've picked up that we have in common is we both built our fitness businesses without the intention to build a fitness business.
Right.
It was just about sharing things that we like and what we wanted to do, and people asking us more questions and us listening to that.
Yeah. How did you get started? Like, how did it all start for you? Because you have if y'all don't know, y'all look her up. We'll link everything down below, but she has a lot going on. This is a boss right here.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. Well, so do you. So do you, for
Just
sure.
just a little bit. A little bit.
Mine started by accident, and my gosh, my guys on know, and I share my story all the time because it's funny when someone says that I'm a fitness person or like a fitness celebrity or whatever. I always giggle at it because to me I'm just like everybody else. I'm just a mom that happened to lose her way.
Right.
I had gotten out of shape. I had gone through a divorce. I lost my way and hit a bad financial hardship and my personal rock bottom. And I used nutrition and fitness to get myself back together. And in that process, I truly felt like I reinvented myself and my life, and I started to not really care about trying to be somebody for anyone else. I wasn't trying to impress anybody. I was just doing it for myself. And I started sharing what I was eating, what I was doing on Facebook. And this is before I had any kind of Facebook following. Just sharing what I was doing. And it was interesting how many people started connecting with me because they were also in that same place or they were interested in what I was sharing.
Right.
And I developed real relationships with people just from being real and sharing. And next thing you know, people are asking, these recipes you're posting, they look so great. Like, what did you should make a recipe book, or you should do this, or how are you eating, or how are you putting this together?
Did you have somebody teaching you or showing you how to eat and all of that back then?
No, I did all my research myself. No, as a hobby, I was a trainer and a sports nutritionist. I had gotten my certifications in that, and it was just a hobby to mine, but it wasn't my career. So I went back and I was re-upping those certifications, learning, studying, and I remember thinking that same thing I just described earlier about that information overload. There's so much stuff out there. How do you even know where to start? Like, this person's saying this and this is saying that. I was so confused. So I just started digging myself and started experimenting on myself, and what I found, what worked for me, I just documented, and that's literally what launched my business, and now it's only my book.
Nice. All right, so I heard about you through Natalie, a mutual friend. We both love her to death.
Yes.
Shout out to Natalie. But so you and I, we both spoke at the FMI Guild last year, and my girlfriend Annette, when she heard you were doing it, she got all excited. So, you know, and Annette is, you know, she's getting her fitness career going, and she's doing really good so far. And she takes her road kind of after what you do, because, you know, a lot of people out there, you know, it's all ass and tits.
Yeah,
You know what I
it's not
mean?
me.
That's not you, it's not Annette. And that's something that I really appreciate about what you do. One thing that I don't like about fitness is that people's obsession with it is rooted in something very shallow. just how they look, right? So I'm like, that's not it, guys. I'm tagged in pictures all the time. Guys like, check out my progress. Just guys with their shirts off. I'm like, no. What else do you have, right? So I like the fact that you give a lot of productive content without all of this.
You know where that comes from? When I hear a lot of people talk, especially people with big social media followings, talk about haters or people that are constantly saying, oh, you're photoshopped or this is fake, and they get all upset about the haters. They talk about the haters. And I'm thinking, but I'm picturing that person sitting at home that is feeling bad about themselves, that's feeling out of shape, that has weight to lose, that's already facing depression, and then they're looking at their newsfeed and they're seeing you standing there in a thong, all spray tanned up, and they're feeling bad about themselves. Of course they're gonna throw out hate. So, I think when you put yourself in that perspective of what am I sharing, and is that encouraging people, is it empowering people, is it actually being helpful to them, or is it just something like I want to show off what I look like?
Right.
That changes things too. And I think a lot of people that post that stuff, I mean, not know personally what that is, but I would assume it comes from their own insecurity.
For sure.
And they're not thinking about what it's doing to the person watching it. So it's
right. And it's a cry for attention, but it's the wrong type of attention. I get it. Some people use that to get people. It's like bait. Okay, if you use that, all right, fine. Now what? Now that you got them, now what? And that's something that people need to think about, especially trying to start businesses in this world of fitness, wellness, or what have you. Your looks is only going to go but so far, because there's always going to be somebody with better looks.
always.
And that's all subjective, and it's not very important, right? So what else do you have to offer besides your looks? People hit me up all the time about sponsorship opportunities, and I'm like, what do you have to offer? I'm killing it in the gym, passionate. I'm like, everybody says that.
Yeah.
Everybody's passionate, that's great. What do you have to offer, right? So that's something that people have to think about. But when people are so caught up in just how they look and just training to look good and be ripped and this, that, and the third, it's an unhealthy imbalance, So, and you're not providing anything of meaning, right? You're not providing any content that's, like you said, that's helping, that's encouraging. It's showing off. Like, I'm into cars. I like cars. I show off my cars. But you know what? I give a lot of other things. You know what I mean? It's not just that. So that would be the equivalent of me just putting cars every post.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't do that.
Right.
I put it out there as motivation because there's people that I look up to. When I see their stuff, I'm like, yo, I got to step my game up. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that when I am posting stuff like my cars, it is motivating somebody to know, like, look, you can have this. 3-4 years ago, I was making $36,000 a year, right? I couldn't imagine surviving off of that now, but I did. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show that you can, you activate that hustle, you tap into something that you really fucking love, and you're 100% pure at it, and you're giving, you're giving your content from a pure place. People are going to give back to you.
Yes.
That's just the nature of the universe. If you give, the universe will give to you.
Totally. I agree with that. And that was the other thing we were talking about earlier, is that we both share a lot of free content. And it doesn't matter. I don't think that'll ever change. Like, of course, we both make our living off of our businesses, and we have products and programs, and we don't hide that. But we also, people could completely change their life off of our free content.
For sure. And I'm happy about that. I put out very well-produced YouTube videos that cost money. People don't realize that.
I know, they don't realize that.
It costs money,
It costs us money to make these videos.
Right. And these videos are for free.
Yes, totally.
On top of other things, whether it be meetups, giving our time and stuff like that, but I love doing it because I'm doing it from a pure place, and I love, this is what I love, and I'm always one to keep it 1,000,000% pure when it's what I really love and what I care about. You can't tarnish that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you got something special that you just dropped. Let's talk about that.
Oh, my book. Oh gosh, I'm like obsessed with my book. So I have talked about my book to everybody, and Mike was so nice today because he's like, I'm gonna buy a bunch of your books.
About like 100
so
books.
Nice of you.
Straight up.
Yeah, my book, my 7-Day Jumpstart, and it's basically built on what I was sharing about simplifying fitness and nutrition. So it's all, I love the whole idea of thinking of what you can add to your life, because the more of the good foods you add, the more of the good movements you add, the less room there is for the bad.
Right.
So not everybody's completely ready to completely go intense on crazy training and super strict dieting, but everybody can benefit from an unprocessed natural food diet. Like
Right.
nobody can argue that natural unprocessed food is bad for you.
Give them a brief breakdown on the difference between processed and unprocessed
Sure.
and the
So,
health benefits.
Yeah, of course. So my basic definition would be anything that once grew is unprocessed. So if
Anything that what?
once grew. So
Okay.
think fruit, vegetables, proteins like
Right.
fish, chicken,
Right.
nuts, seeds. Anything that once grew from
Right.
nature or grew is an unprocessed food in the most natural state. Now, it doesn't mean I never eat packaged foods or never suggest them, but can you define and pronounce ingredients in them?
Right.
So, you know, if you go, the easiest thing to say is if you go to a store and you buy a box of Cheetos, and then you buy a box of natural crackers that maybe have 3 ingredients like nuts, seeds, whatever,
Right.
or versus something with a whole list of things you can't pronounce, that's a highly processed food. And when you're getting the highly processed foods, you don't know what's in them. There could be a lot of artificial sweeteners, there could be a lot of fake fats, there's food colorings, there's so much stuff in there that's also affecting, especially with women, my gosh, affecting hormones, affecting your cravings, creating bloat. Like a lot of, especially women, walk around with this chronic bloat. Like I feel bloated, I feel bloated.
Right.
It's usually from your diet, and it comes from a lot of this. So when you eat natural, unprocessed foods, I'm not saying you have to do it 100% of the time, all the time, but the majority, your body was meant to digest and work with those foods. And I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody that's obese eating too many vegetables or fish or even seeds.
I was
you know?
obese from too much veggies.
Yeah, like it's I
That's true.
kind of
Yeah.
giggle at the whole like, oh, you can't have carrots, there's sugar. Like really, I don't know anybody that's obese
Ridiculous.
from too many
Yeah.
carrots.
I mean,
Now, if you're sitting on the
I eat, like, I'm addicted to grapes. I legit eat a bag of grapes every night.
and I would eat a whole
You
watermelon.
know,
every day.
people are like, oh, it's a sugar. Grapes is mostly water.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Phytonutrients out the yin yang.
Totally.
You know what I mean? And I never get sick, and I attribute that to grapes.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many nutrients in fruits and vegetables, and people are so lacking of them, and water. I mean, my gosh, just water-based foods in general.
Right.
And a lot of people are walking around chronically dehydrated. Not everyone's carrying their jug of water, so eating those foods rich in water is huge for us.
Right.
But what makes people obese? And I'm not talking about the one rare person that has the rare disorder,
Right.
but what makes most people obese is eating a highly processed food diet and not being active. I
Right.
mean, that's just, I don't know that anyone can really argue with that.
Right.
And
So basically, the body is not breaking down the processed stuff as
not the way,
efficiently.
no, and it's also messing with what we're craving, and we can't stop eating. I mean, everybody has had an experience overeating a box of cookies or chips.
Oh, for sure.
Right, but how many times have you overeaten chicken? Or, you know, broccoli, or fish, or seeds?
I overeat everything, so. Yeah,
But in a way that
I'm
would
just
make
messing
you
with
overweight,
No, if
you
I
know?
was to eat like a bowl of cereal,
Yeah.
I can't stop.
Exactly.
I gotta keep going until it's done.
And why is that? But why don't you overeat celery or salad?
Because
You know?
it's nasty.
But
Don't
it's your
taste
body, your
good.
body. But if you're
I'm
really
just kidding.
hungry, if you're really hungry,
Nah, she's
you
right.
eat
I'm
it.
just messing with
no,
you.
I
but
know
yeah,
you
you're
are.
right.
I know, but that's my point. So what my point in this book is, it doesn't have to be that hard.
Rice Krispies.
Like I could give people and
Frosted Flakes, huh?
I could give people a solid plan of like eat just this, eat just that, but
Mm-hmm.
the problem is it overwhelms people. So I want to keep it easy. And the bottom line is most people just by unprocessing their diet and eating natural, real foods,
Right.
things start to change.
Right.
So I base everything on that. And that's so this book it's 84 new recipes, all based on natural
And
food.
don't think, fellas, that this is just for women. This is
No.
for guys. This is for humans.
Yeah, because when I show Mike what's up
I'm
there,
actually excited about reading it. I'm actually gonna.
like what?
That looks amazing.
See, and it's healthy. It's good for you.
I'm
You
gonna
guys
eat all
can't
of
see
that.
that. It's both like chocolate pudding, but it's good for you. So it's all foods that are based on real natural foods.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna buy like 100 of them.
He's awesome.
And
I love that.
because I bought 100 of Gary Vee's books, and you know, when I meet people out at different gyms or
And I'm
whatever,
more fit than Gary Vee, so
I'll-
he's
way
once
more
he's
fit.
just gonna win.
they
That just
they
helps
arm
out.
wrestled and all of that. She smashed them. But no, when I meet people, I like to give people something, so I'll give them a book, you know,
Awesome.
just to raise that awareness and give
love it.
something good. And I feel the same way about you and what I'm gonna do, you know,
you.
with this. And y'all should check it out. This book is legit. I haven't
Thank
read it
you.
yet, but this is something that I'm I have a habit of eating processed stuff because I'm on the go and everything, but it's not an excuse.
But now he's gonna eat my 84 recipes and do my
84.
7-day jump start.
See, but I'm messing around to eat 84 recipes, all 84 in a day.
Oh yeah, that
or two.
I probably wouldn't advise that.
You know, don't do it. Don't do it. But I might.
Don't do that.
I might. No, but in all seriousness, I really appreciate you. I appreciate
you.
what you do. You are a shining light in this industry.
Thank you.
And we need more people like you. And we'll put our lights together and shine
I
brighter.
love it, and I felt the same
Shine
about
brighter.
I think you're the real deal. You are.
That's what's up.
I met him. Well, we have a mutual good friend, Natalie, as you said, and as soon as I met you, I was like, he's solid.
Right, no
he's a
doubt,
good guy.
no doubt.
But that just goes to show, like, again, like, had we not met, like, we have very different approaches. People would think, what do they have in common? But
Right.
there is. I mean, I think good people just connect to each other.
And then we have good people in common.
Yes.
Natalie Men, and then here Gary Vaynerchuk. You know what I mean? So it's legit. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Good people come together. Anyway, New York City. I haven't slept in like 48 hours.
He's tired.
My eyes is like, I'm trying to keep it open. But we're gonna sign out. Mike Mondays, special guest,
Yay.
Natalie Jill. Y'all check her out. Everything's linked down below. Get the book.
Yay.
Listen, it's all about progression. Like we talk about, on my channel, we talk about everything, business, fitness, progressing, period. This is how you progress. This is how you reverse the aging effect. This is how you...
I'm 75.
75 years old. That's crazy. This is how you minimize your risk of disease, of hypertension, of heart disease, of all kind of sicknesses and illnesses. Most illnesses and ailments come from our diet. Basically eating shit that ain't food. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all want to do yourself a favor and get something like this. So everything's linked below. I'm about to head back to my hotel and catch some Z's. Holla at y'all later.